Hello, this is Jed Schlackman. I'm a holistic counselor and energy healer. For this video, I'd like to speak about the process or practice of compassionate inquiry and accessing and processing what's in our unconscious. In the field of psychotherapy, one of the current, more well-known authors is Gabor Mate, who has written several books. I first came across his work when he wrote In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts, and that book focuses on the topic of addiction. Addiction is really a large issue in society, not just in therapy. So there are many people coming for treatment per se or therapy for addictions, but in reality, as Gabor and many other people have observed, addiction is kind of an essential part of the human experience. Even if you don't have a clinically diagnosed addiction, just about everyone has some patterns in their life where they're exhibiting some addictive type of behavior, where something is out of balance or out of control in their life. And you could look at some of the core unconscious reasons for that. What are the underlying processes in our psyche, in our soul, that create those vulnerabilities for those patterns to develop and manifest? Of course, we know that many people are resistant to actually entering any type of therapy. There's a lot of fear and insecurity that comes with exposing yourself, with allowing another person to see the deepest parts of your life, of your psyche, as well as even for you yourself to explore that territory, since there are often things there that are kind of painful or unpleasant, things that you've been trying, at least unconsciously, to avoid. So part of the reason we have different patterns or issues in our life is we've avoided facing those unpleasant experiences, those painful realities that we've gone through in our life. We've developed some pattern, some coping mechanism to escape from that, to hide from it, to deny it, etc. So it's not easy to begin to confront and explore those things. And for those who are working as therapists or healers of any type, at any time, it's important to recognize that, to realize that your client or patient is likely to have some type of resistance, something within them that's actually going to create barriers to proceeding further in the process of therapy or healing. This occurs with pretty much any type of healing modality. So whether you're in talk therapy or you're doing something working with the unconscious or subconscious, perhaps meditation, hypnosis, energy psychology, energy healing, or body work, where you're connecting with the person's body or their energy patterns to try to release where there are things that are tense or stuck or unresolved. So often there's a defense mechanism present that tries to hide or protect what's being suppressed. The process of compassionate inquiry that was developed by Gabor Mate is kind of an integrative, holistic, therapeutic approach where he seeks to help the therapist and the client be more present, be more in the moment and aware of whatever is arising, and to have this kind of safe space where as the person receiving therapy, you don't feel you're being judged. You feel it's okay to just be yourself, to observe what's in your consciousness, and that includes whatever's in your unconscious or subconscious, the things that you may have been ashamed of, things you may have regretted. All of that now can more easily come to the surface when you're in this safe, calm space, when you're able to just be in that present moment and aware of whatever's coming up for you, whether it's coming up consciously or coming up subconsciously, perhaps some sensations in your body, some emotions that you're experiencing. And that concept of compassionate inquiry can be brought into any other type of therapy that you're engaging in. So we can consider that it's important to have this safe place to be able to just be present, to not be forcing things, to not feel like you have to accomplish something or you have to provide something that the therapist is asking you for. There's no demand there, there's no pressure. You can just be present and just observe whatever might arise. In that process, you actually become more calm and more mindful. You're just using your awareness. There's nothing to do, to accomplish. There's no goal to achieve per se. And you feel accepted. So you know that whatever you're sharing, whatever you're expressing, it's okay. The therapist isn't there to judge you, to tell you that you're right or wrong, that you should or shouldn't be feeling or experiencing something. You're just kind of observing and noticing what's within you, what's coming up within yourself. The more you're able to do that, the more things on their own will start to naturally arise. So as we become more calm, more present, we create this sort of open space for whatever our soul or our unconscious wishes to actually bring up for us to explore and release in some manner. One thing that I've observed a lot in therapy is that people come to it with an uncertainty of what therapy is supposed to be like, what their role as the client per se is, what are they supposed to share or express. So there's kind of some anxiety just with this process of going to a therapist and starting to share things about yourself. And many people have their own expectation about what it should be like, or their own kind of attitude about what they want to bring to the table in the session. So it's important to kind of create this open, safe space in the beginning to help people feel okay with whatever needs to come up, with whatever they're going to be sharing, and to feel open to this process and wherever it might lead, to know that they can go as far, as deep as they want to into this self-exploration. I've noticed this as well with hypnotherapy. There people are particularly concerned that things will come up under hypnosis and they'll kind of get stuck in that state. So they're kind of afraid that they won't be in control, since people think of hypnosis as being a state where you're not in conscious control, where the therapist has control of you, or you're like in a dream of some sort, almost asleep. and not conscious of what you're doing or saying. So it's helpful for that person to receive some reassurance that it is a safe process, that there's always some part of you that's in control that can choose to go further or not go further in the process. So for the person to feel empowered that they are making this choice to go as far into the therapeutic process as they want to, they're not being forced. It's ultimately their choice, something they do have the option to go into or not go into, so they can feel safe. Also in hypnotherapy, people are concerned that afterwards they won't remember what happened, and you can let them know that they're not completely asleep, they're actually present. It's just a state of kind of being in between your normal external focus and being focused within, going into what people would label the subconscious or unconscious. So you're actually creating kind of a bridge between those parts of your consciousness. You're bringing an opportunity for integration where you can bring what's been unconscious into consciousness, so that you're not afraid of it, you're not avoiding it, you're able to embrace it, you're able to compassionately explore it. So again, the compassion part is helpful, where you're not judging yourself, you're not saying there's anything bad or wrong about your past experiences or your past actions, your past identity, or so on. You're just being present with it. You're seeking some greater understanding of it so that you can understand yourself and who you are here now in the present, and create any shifts or transformations that you may desire to. I hope that this discussion has given each of you something to consider in your own personal growth process or healing process. Also, to support therapists and healers who are helping their clients, helping the people that they're working with feel more safe, more open to share and go deeper into their healing process. The more we can help people feel at ease, the more open they can be. So you want your client, if you're a therapist, to feel safe, to not feel judged, to feel accepted just as who they are. And that gives them the freedom to really explore things, to express whatever they need to feel safe in doing so. And just that sense of safety is in itself therapeutic. It helps the person more easily be in that state of calmness, of self-acceptance, of allowing themselves to be authentic and to observe every aspect of their own being, to realize they don't have to deny any parts of themselves. Everything is okay to explore and observe. For those that are interested in exploring other topics related to self-healing, to holistic health and spirituality, I invite you to visit my website, which is phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. I wish each of you a wonderful day. Namaste.